Hi everyone, good evening. So, all right, all right. So, I hope my screen is visible. So in this tutorial, we are going to see what is the Web2 lead, Apex classes basics, Visual Force pages, list, map, and set. So these things we are going to cover today. So let's start with demo only, like how we can create a Web2 lead form, and then we'll see like Apex basis and other things. All right. So okay, so first of all, what is Web2 lead is. So for example, a customer is there and they want to create a form over their website. So for that reason, what we can do is in Salesforce we can create a form, and that form we can place to the basically to our website. So whatever information will enter by a user, that automatically come into the Salesforce. So that is the use of Web2 leads. Okay, so in order to create that, we need to search here Web2 lead. Just click on that. All right, so this is the Web2 lead setup. So here what we can do is, do we want to enable the Web2 lead, do we want to enable the reCAPTCHA, that also we can do from here. Also if you want to default lead creator, who should be the default creator, like right now you can see the Neeraj Sethi is the default character, means creator means owner will be the Neeraj Sethi if any will create a record from that form. Okay, if you want to add some response also, like whenever we receive a record from that, we should send an email, automated email, which is not required any user interruption, only it's configured and it will send an email. So that we all things we can capture. Okay, so let me create a form first. So create Web2 lead. Here we can see what all fields we want to include. So let me first include these 5 fields. What return URL means, once a user submit where that particular user should redirect, that URL we can give. So for now let me give this one, and here we can configure the reCAPTCHA also. reCAPTCHA is provided by the Google, so over there we need to do some settings and all. So for that I have already created video. Over there I have explained very much clear, like with all the steps, because time taking, so that I will attach to this particular tutorial only. So from there you can see how the reCAPTCHA it works. Okay, now let me generate. So as soon as we click on this one, we will see this HTML content here. So what we can do is, we can just copy this one and we can open any editor, like let me open Notepad. All right, so let me paste here, or let me just save. Okay, let me save on desktop. So web form dot html, we need to put extension as html. All right, now let me go on desktop. So right now we can see this is the form. So when we add to the customer website, we can add our customized UI over there, like this font should be good and some other images and all that we can do the customize. So let me open the code how it works basically. Okay, so right now we can see this is the form, and over there we can see this is the servlet URL which Salesforce automatic generate against all the orgs. Over here we can see the org ID basically. If suppose right now I'm doing from my org, so this is the identification that this is particular form is generated by that org. Okay, next is method should be the post, because all the information should be hidden. All right, after that we have the hidden this one return URL, where we want to return like once the submission is done. And after that here we can see the input and labels, and input we can see these all informations, and as soon as we'll click on this one, it will submit the form through this one and redirecting to this particular URL. Okay, so now let me go here, Neeraj at the rate, let me change the keyboard, at the rate crm.in company, let me put this one, and city like Ajmer. Okay, so let me submit this one. Alright, now we can see we navigated to the Salesforce, but same time we can navigate to a custom URL also, like our website, like some crminstitute.com, some website URL is there. Over there also we can redirect. Okay, if I will go here, lead, let me go to the today's list. Now we can see, right? So whatever information we have entered on the form, that all information being captured on this record, and this automatically assigned to the Neeraj Sethi. Okay, so this is the basically a web to lead form, and this is the use of that. All right, similarly we have one email service also. So for that what we can do is, so if I'll go here, email service, alright, so here what we can do is, here we can create an email service. So basically email service is something like in Salesforce we will create, it will create a a unique email address for us, and once a user send an email on that particular record, it will create a record in the Salesforce. So that is the use of that. Okay, so let me give some demo email. If we want to capture those information in a Apex class, that we can select from here. So for now let me select this one, and do we are going to receive any kind of attachment, so that we can select from here. Okay, do we want to activate? Yes, we want to activate. And if some error comes, in that case what we want to do, we want to route to some other email address or anything, so that we can do from here. Let me save. Alright, so we need to create an Apex class, so let me copy the code so it will be quick. So let me copy this one. Let me create an Apex class from here. All right. Now let me go again here. Now let me try to save it. Okay, now this particular email service being saved in the system. Okay, here we can generate the email address again this service. Okay, so let me give Neeraj Sethi. Okay, alright, so now this particular email being generated here. So now if we can see here, if I'll go view, if this particular email will send a notification on this one, in that case it's going to create a record in Salesforce. Okay, so that is the use. So as a to address we can use this one, and whoever is going to send an email, that will be stored into the Salesforce. Okay, so here we can see basically this is the interface basically which is already existing system that we need to implement here, and if you want to make any customization, that we can do here. So You guys can say that today assessment is something that you guys need to see how it works. If you will send an email, how it's react, so that you need to do. If you have any query, you can send it to me and we can cover in the next session. All right, so now let's move to the Apex classes and the Visual Force pages. Okay, so as you all know that in order to create a Apex class, we need to open the developer console. From here we can click. All right, now so from here we can create a Apex class and Visual Force pages. These other things we will see later, but for now we are going to cover the Apex classes. Okay, so let me create. And one more thing, whenever we are creating a Apex class, should be a meaningful name, so in future we can see like, yeah, this is the class we have created this particular use. All right, so let me give this contact information or a contact controller. Alright, so now if you guys are aware about the Java, you can see that same as we are creating a class in Java. Okay, here similarly we have the constructor. I hope everyone know. If not, then constructor is something that the class name and the method name is same and there is no return type, and that particular method is being used to initialize the values. Okay, so let me first create. So similarly as in Java we have three type of constructor. Here also we have default constructor, which automatically create when we create a class in system. Another one is default constructor, non-parameterized constructor, and third one is parameterized constructor. So let me create this one. Okay, this is a non-parameterized constructor. Okay, now second thing is how we can create a value, print a value basically in the Apex. So for that we have here system.debug. Okay, here like Neeraj Sethi I can print. Save. Okay, now if directly we want to just test it out like how it works, so what we can do is in the debug we can see open execute anonymous window or control E we can press. Here directly we can just create an instance of a class, like similar in Java also we used to create like this only, and here also we can do. Now let me execute highlight. If I'll go to the logs, I will find out this log here. Alright, now we can see Neeraj Sethi here. Okay, so alright, okay, now right now you can see I just selected this particular text and just click on this button, but here we have another button called execute. If suppose I have written 10 to 20 numbers of line and I don't want to select that particular lines and just want to execute, so that we can do from here. But same time there is a a drawback of this feature is something that we have written some piece of code in production to delete some record or some execution code. Okay, so what happen is because Salesforce keep that particular lines of code active in this editor. Okay, so what happen is we have written just a line to query the record, but by mistake the deletion code was also there. So if we'll click on this one, it will delete the records also too. So that's the reason always whenever we are doing this exercise, make sure to just select these lines whatever you want to execute, and just click on this execute highlighted. Here we have one more checkbox. If we will click on this checkbox and click on execute highlighted, okay, we will be able to see that one new window comes up and will display the debug logs. Okay, now if I'll unselect this debug log, here we can see these many things. Okay, so whatever things we are doing inside this Apex class or inside this execution, what all things considered in the Salesforce. or a Salesforce ecosystem. So number of SOQLs. So in Salesforce we can do in a single thread 100 SOQLs. In a single time we can query the 50,000 records. SOSL we can do 20 DML operation, means insert, update, delete, that we can do 115 single thread. But if you will try to do more, it will grow, throw an error like too many SOQL, too many DML operations, CPU time limit error, that kind of exception will come. So these all are the very important things that we should make sure it during writing a code in Salesforce. Okay, either we are doing you know through the automation or Apex class, both the cases we should make sure that we are following these all best practices during writing anything. Okay, so all right, now here we have two major things. One is static method, another one is non-static method. It's similar as Java. If we have created any static method, that will be directly called by the Apex class name instead of creating an instance, right? So that is the static method. If we have created non-static, then we have to create an instance and then only we will be able to do. So simple way. So let me create two methods here, public static. Similarly we can have a return type like let me do for integer for now. Okay, get sum. Let me give two parameters, integer num1, integer num2. Alright, let me return this one, num1 plus num2. And second, let me create another method called get sum 1 with non-static method. Alright, now let me try to access. So let me first try to access static method. Okay, so we can see it's run perfectly. Now let me call the non-static method, which is get sum 1. So now we can see that non-static method cannot be referenced from a static context. So in order to resolve this exception, what we need to do is first we need to create the instance of this class. So let me make it obj, and instead of this one we need to use this one, and after that we will be able to access it. Alright, so now let me go back. Alright, so I hope static and non-static methods are clear. Okay, now let's see how we can utilize this Apex class in Visualforce page. Okay, nowadays everyone is using Aura component and the LWC component, but still to grow our coding skills, we should use the Visualforce pages, because over there we can put some logics and all, and through that we can improve our coding skills. So that's why we should go with this one. And another best use case is to make the PDFs. Nowadays in LWC also is available, but still, because if the old client is there and they are using, then we should know like how to create the Visualforce page, how to modify it, so that we should know. So now let me create the Visualforce page. Contact information VF. Okay, so alright, so Visualforce page is similar like how we used to create the H tag like Neeraj Sethi. In HTML, how we used to create the HTML text. So similarly it's P tag also we can create. Hi Neeraj. Similarly table also we can create here, tr td name. Okay, you know, if you want to save this one, just press Ctrl S as we used to do in other editors also. Now if you want to see the preview, we can just click on the preview icon and we will be able to see all the output. Now we can see Neeraj Sethi, hi Neeraj, and this one. Okay, so it's pretty similar as we used to do in HTML. Okay, now another thing is you guys might use the bootstrap. So instead of bootstrap, here we have the SLDS, Salesforce Lightning Design System. So it's kind of similar, only the some attribute names are different, but that quite similar. Okay, in order to include that, we need to use SLDS here. In Aura and LWC it's already inbuilt, but in order to use in Visualforce pages, we have to use this one. Okay, so right now we can see it's like quite a different which we see earlier, right? And if you want to align some border, some kind of formatting to this table, so that we can do through the table SLDS. Here we have, so let me go here. Alright, if we will scroll down, here we will see this class. So we just need to copy this class and we just need to paste it here. So right now we can see this table is visible like this, but right now it's not visible in a proper way because we haven't created this in a correct way actually. So T head, and next is T body. Now let's see this one. Now we can see it's quite a different sizes basically. Okay, now let's use another one. Okay, I think we have used this one. Let me go there. Okay, now we can see it's like this one, hover and all we can see, right? Now, so for example, I have created some variable over here and I want to access it, because definitely we are creating some UI frameworks, right? We should get some information from backend and we should get displayed over the screen. So how we can do that? So first, let me go here. Okay, so here public string. So let's first talk about the data types in Apex. So first we have a string. So first name. In order to access into the Visualforce page, we need to set this one as getter and setter. Get and set. Okay, now let me put here like Mohit. Copy this one, save, and here this is called formula expression. Okay, inside that we can give the variable name. Now if we will get any error here, we will get here. So right now we can see unknown property first name, right? In this Visualforce page, compiler is not able to find because we have not connected this Apex class here. Okay, so controller, Okay, here we have three types of controller. One is standard controller. Standard controller is used to assign a standard or a custom object directly. For example, I want to build some form on for the account object. So what I can do is I can just come here and just click on this one, standard controller and account. Okay, so what it will do is I will be able to automatically access the account.name, account.phone, whatever fields are available on that particular object, I will be able to access it. So that is the use. Another thing is extension. So right now I have just used one controller, but if suppose I want to use the multiple Apex classes, so in that case I can go ahead with the extension. Also, if we are using the standard controller and we want to use the Apex class, that time also we need to use extension. So this is the basic use of these three controllers. Okay, we can see Mohit here. Alright, so this is the basic use of Visualforce page and the Apex classes. Okay, one more very good feature of Visualforce page is render as PDF. So whatever information we have entered here and we want to generate into the PDF, so that we can do from here. So I think we are using CellDS, so that's why let me remove it. Alright, so if we want to render any Visualforce page, we have to remove the SLDS import. Okay, so we can see this information. So this is the use of Visualforce page majorly. Okay, now let's jump to the Apex class again and see like how the list, set and map works. Okay, so first let's try to understand what's the difference between the list and map and set. These are the collections basically which is available in Salesforce. Okay, so set is something that if you want to store some unique values like a record ID, right, or a unique names we want to, so it's work on the primitive data type. Primitive data type is something that where we are not going to store any as subject informations like account, contact, this kind of, only primitive integer, id, string, that kind of. So in that case we can go ahead with the set. Another one we have called list. If you want to store some data like contact information you want to store, or a lead information, or even we want to store some email address where we think like duplicate email address also can come, so in that case we can go ahead with the list. Third one is the map, which is very important in Apex. So map is the combination of key and value. So for example, what I want to do is I want to store all our contacts against the account. So account is CRM lending, and inside that how many employees are there. Another one is X is the company, and inside that how many contacts or how many employees are there. So those kind of scenarios if we want to do, in that case we have to go with the map. And we will, when we will jump to the trigger side, that time also it's going to be very important, because as I mentioned, in Salesforce we have a limitation of queries, we have a limitation of DML operations, we have limitation of CPU time limits. So in order to overcome from that situation we have to use the maps. Okay, so let's do some exercise on that. So let me open the anonymous window again. Okay, so first let me create a set here. So, or let me do integer record or amount set, or I can see contact IDs. All right, let me put here dot add. So basically here we have one method called add, which will help us to add the values. 3, 4, 3, 1 and 4. All right, now let me print this one. So here we have three methods majorly: add, clear and size. In size is used to see the total number of records inside the set. Alright, so this is just a comment we can add as per our requirement, like whatever things we are going to print. If it's a meaningful, we are able to easily able to find it into the debugs. If we have some given some random number ABC, so it will be hard to find, so that's why it should be meaningful. Now let me select this one. Alright, so now we can see the batch, the set size is 4. We have entered 5 values, okay, or I think 6 values, okay, but some duplicate values was there, so that's the reason it's routed to 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this is the basically use of set. If you want to store only unique and also want to sort it, so in that case we can use this one. Okay, and for example I want to just clear the values of this one, so here we have clear method, and if I'll try to print this one, so we can see 0. And similarly, like in Java or C++, we have the array. Similarly here also it's a array only, and it's starting from 0. So means if we have the 4 recorded, means it's started from 0 number index, 0 1 2 3. Okay, and similarly if you want to directly access any particular index number data, so that also we can do. Dot get. All right, let's discover the set methods in. Alright, so these all methods, looks like get method is not available here. It's basically available in we can say the list basically. Okay, so here we have this one. If we have the if we are having a list and that we want to convert into the set, so for that we are having the add all method. Clear, clone if you want to clone a set, and many more things available. Contents in, if you want to check that Neeraj.Sethi at the CRM landing is exist over there or not, so those kind of. So basically this one can be utilized. All right, so let's again jump to there only. Okay, now let me create a set. So let me use the same one, and instead of this one let me create the list. System.debug. Contact IDs. All the same methods are available here also. but duplicate values will be considered over here. Now let me go here. Okay, so we can see we are able to. So basically this is also different, that if you want to capture any specific index number value, in that case we have to go ahead with the list. If not, then we can go ahead with the set. So if for example I know that I just want to check this particular value is exist or not, in that case I can go ahead with the set to unique things. Data should be unique and it automatically sorted. So this is that. Let me open the list class in Apex. So here also we can see these all methods are available, so you guys can do exercise with this one. Alright, now let's move to the map, which is very crucial and very important. Okay, so alright, map is the pair of key and value. Key is running on the set basically, which is should be unique. If we have the duplicate, it automatically override. So let me create an example here. String and record map. Record map dot put. Here we have one method called put. Okay, so Neeraj let me put Sethi. Alright, now let me try to print. So right now we can see first we got the Jaydeep and then Shah, Neeraj Sethi Neeraj and Sunil Kumar, but we can see that Neeraj was duplicate key here, so it override. Value can be duplicate, but the key should be unique. So this is the map basically. So let's take an actual example like how we use in our scenarios. So and here we have three important methods basically. One is if we are trying to access any particular value from here, in that case we should use the contains key. Okay, so so similarly like if conditions also we have here dot contains key. So here first I should check like this particular key is exist or not. If it will not exist, it will throw an error. So that's why always make sure whenever we are trying to access any value from map, we are doing the key check. Another thing is system.debug.get. Right, Neeraj, but suppose if I'm trying here this one and here I'm trying to this one, so let's see what will happen. see, it's directly returning the null, but if we are using somewhere that we think that a value should come, and based on that we are going to get some information, so in that case it will give us an error. So that's why always remember, whenever we are trying to access any value, we should use this if condition before accessing any value, and either we are doing in loop or outside the loop, we should use this one. Okay, now second thing is, if suppose I want to only get the keys, like what all keys are available, so here we have key set. So Jaideep, Neeraj Sethi and Sunil is the key of this map. If suppose I want to get only values, so that we can get from here. So we can see, right? Sunil, Kumar, Sethi, Kumar, Shah and Neeraj is the value we can see here, right? So alright, so let me get the map methods also, map class in Salesforce. Alright, so now let me go back here. Okay, so now let's see how we can utilize these things to store the information from the database. Okay, so let me go in this class again. Okay, let me remove this all from here. Now let me create a contact list. So suppose I want to query all the contacts and want to store in this query. So what I can do is select id from contact semicolon. If I want to put some where clause or a limit, that definitely we can do here, like I just want to put limit 10 records should come, so that we can also do. So now let me again okay, so now let me call this one. Okay, so we can see we got the 10 records, right now we have just queried the id, so that's why it's with id. But if you want to query other fields like first name, last name or any other field, that also we can do from here. So like this we can store the data inside a list. Okay, but same time what I want to do is, so let me first do this query here. Okay, so right now we can see these are, but let me copy this one and let me give here. Okay, one more fantastic feature is there. So if suppose we have done a query here and we want to make some changes in the record, so that directly we can do from here. Okay, we can just change here like Neeraj. Okay, and here we have save button, just click on that, it will commit to the database. Okay, also another thing is, if you want to delete, that also you can do. If you want to insert, so if I will click on this one, I will be able to see this one. I can just put the information and it will insert a record in database. Another one is, if I want to open the detail page, like, so that also we can open from here against this record. So we can see that record is open. Okay, another one is, if I want to create a new record, so that also we can do. Just click on that button, it will open a new record window, whether we can fill the information, we will be able to save it. So these are the quick tricks, or you can say quick accesses, which is available in developer console, which we can use or utilize to perform a quick actions. Okay, now let's again come to the actual requirement. So how we can utilize the set? So right now we can see that I'm going to receive a 10 contact, but there is a possibility that a duplicate email address also can there, and I want to remove it. Okay, so what I can do is, here I can run on this one contacts, and I know, and always remember, whenever we are working on the apex side, left side should be the similar as the right hand side. So whatever information we are thinking that going to come, that should be matched to the left hand side. So if I have the list of contact and I'm going to run in the, you know, for each loop, so in that case make sure that we have given the contact. If I'll give the account or a string or other data type, it will throw an error. Okay, and same goes with the assignment also. Like assignment is like I just have a value of a string and I'm trying to assign into the integer, so it will definitely give an error. So that we always keep in mind whenever we are working on the apex side. Contact con. Okay, now let me create a set string emails set string dot add. Okay, now let me run this one. All right now we can see we have just duplicated that email address, but that is not available here, right? So this is the use of set. Also, if you want to double make sure that value itself it should not come, so what we can do is, here we have one method, if emails dot contains con dot email not equal to, if it's not exist then only it should go. Okay, so that also we can do from here. Now let me run. Okay, so that also we can do from here. Now so this is the use of this one. Another one is, now what I want to do is, so I want to capture the information, like whoever is having a similar email address, that information I want to capture and store as a specific area. Okay, so how we can utilize that? So let's first create the map string and list of contact, because I want to capture the contacts. So contacts map. All right, now as I mentioned, if wherever we have the duplicate email address, that particular contact should be attached to that email address only. So here, as I mentioned, whenever we are using the map, we should do a content check. Con dot email. Okay, let me create a list here. Contact con list dot add con dot email, else. Okay, now let me just clear this one, so there will be no duplicate lines. Okay, now what I have done here is I just created a list here, because with every email address I want to store some list, either it's a single record or a multiple record, we should have a list. Okay, now because if very first time this loop will run, so we'll not have any single record with the email address, so what we need to do is directly dot put that con dot email should be the key, and with that we should have the list. So right now it's going to be have a single record with the very new or very one email address, very first email address. Now okay, okay, now second thing is, suppose a neeraj@crmlending.in email address is already there. Now what I need to do is, first I want to get all the email address which is already there. Okay, equal to get. In order to get, we need to give the key, because in this key what all records are there. So first I'm getting those record in this list, and then I'm assigning the new record, and then I'm again putting the same information. Okay, let me click on this one. Alright, here we need to assign directly a contact, not an email address. Okay, now let me try to print what all information is being captured here. Okay, now let me run again. So we can see these all information being stored here. So first is this one. For this email address we have this one, second is this one, inside that we have single record, then this is the third one. Or let me, and right now I'm not able to scroll it down or up properly, so what I can do is just click on this logs, click on here, open row logs, or also we can download it. So for now let me open this one, let me just Control F and search. So we can see here is this one. So let me copy this one and let me open. Alright, so let me go here, let me open this one. So let's see which one was the duplicate one. So here we can see first record is rows and another record is seen, right? So these two records being stored against this one email address. So we want to do this kind of scenarios works. In that case we can go ahead with the map. All right. So yeah, I hope like set, list and map is clear now. If you have any query or any questions, you can drop a message to me and we'll revert back on that. So yeah, this is all for today, and we'll see next steps tomorrow, like how we can now utilize whatever things we have created in class into the Visualforce page. So yeah, thanks for joining today, and we'll meet tomorrow again. Thank you.